imagine those few words are costing retail industry in this country is a loss? So I'll tell you about this. One day I walked down to a retail shop and I see very much unusual things. That one salesperson was, coming down from that retail shop, and he was saying to the customer who was supposed to get into that retail shop, and he said, "Can I help you?" And that customer was saying, "No, thanks, just looking around." No, I have seen this and I have observed that for half an hour, all the customers walked down to their retails and was not able to get into there. I couldn't even understand what's going on. Then I walked down to that salesperson, and I asked that salesperson that, what was the last time you have sold a huge amount? And he said, it's been 2 years before. Now he said, it's been 3 years since I have opened this retail shop. For first 1 year, it was running great. I had 15 salespeople, and now it's come down to a few salespeople are left because I'm not running this retail shop very much and I'm not earning so much. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I always try to connect with the customers and I really talk to their customers, and they don't even come down inside my retail shop and they don't like to buy anything. I don't know, maybe they purchase from somewhere else. And he was talking, I was just listening there. And then I said, what is the average people come down to your retails? He said around 50. And I asked, what is the average value that customer buy from you? He said around 500 to 1000 rupees per day. That's lesser than anything. And then I calculate, if one person purchase 1000 rupees into 50 is equal to 50,000 rupees sales a day. It's a huge amount. And if you divide this into 30, so it's like 15 lakhs rupees sales a month. He said, whoa, how's that possible? I said, I'll tell you a simple word, a simple tweak in your word, and then you'll see the magic. And then what's that? I asked them, why do you suppose to think that customer will give you the same answer when you know the questions which you are asking them? He said, what's that? I said, customer only responds the way you do. That's why you are getting not so much customer. That salesperson said, then what to do next? I said, use this and watch me. Then I can walk down inside that retail shop. One customer came down to there and I asked, hi, have you been in here before? That customer said yes. Then I asked, okay, great. We have created a special program for the people who have shopped here before. And that customer was curious. He said, what's that? I would like to know about the special program. Am I eligible to get into that program? I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Let me take just a few minutes to tell you about this. And why don't you come down inside that retail shop and I'll give you the briefing about that. So after few minutes, that customer purchased 35,000 rupees product from that details, and the salesperson was shocked like this. Again, one customer come down to that retail shop and I again said, hi, have you been in here before? That customer said, no, it's been first time. So I asked him, okay, great. We have created a special program for the people who have not shopped here before. And that customer said, what's that? I said, okay, let me take just a few minutes to tell you about this. Why don't you come down inside this details and I'll give you the briefing about that. So he said, okay. You can't even imagine, after few hours I have sold a 7.5 lakhs product in that retail shop. And the business owner that's supposed to be a salesperson, he was shocked. And he come down to me. He said, what did you just say to them? How it happened? And what's a special program? We didn't introduce any type of program. How do you introduce a special program when we are not a program or an educator institute? I said, okay. Program is nothing more than the benefit of your product, the case study of your customer, the testimonial of your customer, and the bonus and discount of your product. Use these 4 simple words into your checklist and make a program. You have to have created a special program instead of saying that this is the benefit of a product, or this type of people have purchased a product before and they are doing and we are giving you the bonus. Say that we have created a special program for those people who have shopped or who have not shopped here before. So a special program is nothing more than the benefit of your product, what that product is all about, the case study, how a customer have purchased here from this from the product from you and they are using it properly. What's the testimonial? That a few very selective people or a branded people or a luxury person or a light people using your product and they are doing it very well, and then you can offer them some kind of discount who are joining your program. You can give them a 5% or 2% or 3% discount and add some bonus that if you purchase this product you can add this one also as a bonus from us. That's it, and you made the program, special program. And that business owner was shocked. He said, so is it going to do that? Is it gonna work? I smiled. I said, it depends only how enthusiastically you do that. He said, okay, we should try this. I said, yes, definitely. Then after a few months, that business owner called me and he said, I just can't believe it. Our sales has been increased instantly with using a few simple words, and our sales increased 15 to 20% immediately. And I just smiled and I didn't say any word because I knew what should happen. So it's not about using fancy softwares or using tools or hiring the smartest people in your industries, in your business. It's all about to know and use a small or easy pick in your business, in your sales. That's it. If you have not subscribed my channel, so please go and subscribe my channel, because you don't need to miss this kind of insight of sales and you improve your business. So if you want to learn the psychology of sales, then please join my business growth workshop, which is live on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it's me, Rinki Khan, your CRM expert and MSME business coach. I have businesses to convert their sales and generate more sales revenue, because I am an expert in driving your sales skyward. So we will meet you next week with the brand new videos. So stay tuned.